Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, Chapter 6, The Demigods and Demons Declare a Truce. Text 11. Tvamayatmashrayaya swayedam Nirmaya Vishvam Tadanu Pravishta Pashyanti Yukta Manasa Manishino Guna Vyavayep Yanunam Vipashyata Tvam, your lordship, Mayaya, by your eternal energy, Atma Ashraya, whose existence is under your shelter. Swaya, emanated from yourself. Idam, this. Nimaya, for the sake of creating. Vishvam, the entire universe. Tat, into it. Anu pravishta, you enter. Pashyanti, they see. Yukta, persons in touch with you. Manasa, by an elevated mind. Manishina, people with advanced consciousness. Guna, of material qualities. Vyavaye, in the transformation. Api, although. Agunam, still untouched by the material qualities. Vipashyata, those who are fully aware of the truth of Shastra. Translation, O Supreme, you are independent in yourself and do not take help from others. Through your own potency, you create this cosmic manifestation and enter into it. Those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, who are fully in knowledge of the authoritative Shastra, and who, through the practice of bhakti-yoga, are cleansed of all material contamination, can see with clear minds that although you exist within the transformations of the material qualities, your presence is untouched by these qualities. Purport. The Lord says in Bhagavad-Gita, Maya jakshena prakriti suyatesa characharam hetunanena konteya jagat viparivartate. This material nature, working under my direction, O son of Kunti, is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. The material energy creates, maintains, and devastates the entire cosmic manifestation because of directions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who enters this universe as Garbhadaksai Vishnu, but is untouched by the material qualities. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord refers to Maya, the external energy which creates this material world, as mama maya, my energy, because this energy works under the full control of the Lord. These facts can be realized only by those who are well-versed in Vedic knowledge and advanced in Krishna consciousness. Translation again. O Supreme, you are independent in yourself and do not take help from others. Through your own potency, you create this cosmic manifestation and enter into it. Those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, who are fully in knowledge of the authoritative Shastra, and who, through the practice of bhakti-yoga, are cleansed of all material contamination, can see with clear minds that although you exist within the transformations of the material qualities, your presence is untouched by these qualities. Om Jnana-Chimarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord Brahma, on behalf of the demigods, is approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in making that approach, he is clarifying the status of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is proper. He is setting the scene. He is establishing the glories of the Supreme Lord. Now bear in mind, he is not seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's able to hear. This seems strange to us because in contemporary so-called civilization, we are very attached to seeing as verification. Even the colloquial expression is there, seeing is believing. But for those who understand the bhakti process, even the overall Vedic process, hearing is much more important. Because you may see with your ordinary eyes, but you won't understand. Srila Prabhupada makes the point in a previous purport to this section that actually hearing from an authoritative source, the Shastra, or hearing from an authorized person is more important than seeing. This sounds strange to us, right? If only I can see, then I'll understand. If only something is right before my eyes, then I'll have realization. But our process is about hearing as the primary activity for verifying the transcendental reality and for our making spiritual advancement. We can give a material example, and of course we can give the example of Krishna himself when he was present to an ordinary vision in this world. First, a material example. Studies have been done of biology students at the university. And they are told, look through the microscope. And they look through a microscope, and what happens? They don't understand anything they're looking at. It's right before their eyes. But they can't make head or tail of it. They've got the advanced microscope. They're brilliant students. Probably IIT or something. MIT, this, whatever. They're looking, they're seeing. Do you understand? They're seeing. But unless they are instructed, in other words, unless they hear, they cannot recognize what they're looking at. So this illustrates our point, that unless you have knowledge instilled in you, through the ear, you can't even understand if something is right before your eyes, no matter how advanced your technology is. Those of you who know something about physics, quantum mechanics, you may have heard that university professors say that in order to teach students about the strange world of quantum physics, it takes 8 years to totally change their method of thinking. 8 years wait for initiation. But if we say it'll take you 2 years to begin to understand Bhagavad-Gita, oh God, that's such a long time. But for some material goal, oh yes. For example, if you hear about someone who, I'll give you a practical example before we start talking about Krishna's appearance in this world. Virgin Australia Airlines, one of the airlines in Australia. The CEO started out as working in the mailroom when he was 21 years old, just back when everyone was using, the post. He was an immigrant from Italy, and he immigrated to Australia, and his first job was just putting letters in slots. He was working for Qantas, the other big airlines in Australia. It's a lowly position. And then 35 years later, he's CEO of the other major airlines. 35 years later. Now, when you hear that, what do you think? It was all worth it. He started from the bottom. He went to the top. He became CEO when he was 55 or 60. What a life, right? But if I say to you, oh, it'll take 10 or 20, 30 years or so for you to chant Hare Krishna with satisfactory attention, oh, I cannot wait that long. Why does Krishna make it so difficult? Krishna's supposed to be Bhakta-Vatsala. Why do we have to wait so long? But again, if I say 30 years before you're CEO, no problem. This is our duplicity. So we put so much stress on our eyes, I want to see. But here you see the devas, the suras, led by Brahma, they're not seeing, but they know. Sound vibration is the evidence. The other example about how seeing is not believing is that when Krishna was present to everyone's vision 5,000 years ago, very few persons understood that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, you've heard this before, but maybe you haven't thought deeply about it. It's kind of incredulous because you're thinking, if only I could see Krishna, then I would understand everything. But so many saw him. Most thought that he was the most powerful human being on the planet. Just like people might think he is the most powerful cricket player presently. He is the richest person presently. So they thought of Krishna in that way. A few thought he was the super soul. But it was very rare that someone would understand he is Swayam Bhagavan, the original personality of Godhead. But they're seeing him. So what's going on? We put so much emphasis on our seeing, but without knowledge, without hearing, what do we really know and what can we really see? In this verse, Lord Brahma is explaining about Krishna's mystic power. As he says in Bhagavad-Gita, Pashame Yogam Aishram. Arjuna, just see my opulence of yoga. Yoga is much more than physical exercises and breathing exercises. Actually, yoga means expertise, ability, as well as it means connection. Krishna has yoga. He is Yogeshwara, the master of all yoga power. Indeed, Yogeshvareshwara, the Shastra says, the master of the masters of yoga power. So you have to understand, whenever you look at any aspect of nature, you are seeing yoga power. The birds flying through the air. You might just think, oh, that's their ability that has evolved over many millions of years. No, the bird has a particular yoga power to be able to fly. Just like fish they can breathe underwater. You can't do that. So every species of life has a particular yoga power. And Krishna is the source of all that ability. He's the source of all that yoga expertise. In other words, yoga means the art of getting something done, the capability of doing something special. Everything about Krishna and what he does is special. What you see in this verse and what is constantly repeated throughout the Shastra is Krishna's yoga power of emanating the material world without being affected by it. This is art. This is yoga. Just like a bird can fly, similarly Krishna can be within the material world but not affected by it. And of course, for those who please Krishna through the bhakti-yoga system, they also develop the yoga power of not emanating the material world, but being able to exist within the material world without being affected by it. So Krishna wants to share that yoga power with all his parts and parcels. You'll find, even in other religions, some hints of this yoga power. According to the Bible, Jesus is said to have said that you have to be in the world, but not of the world. That is yoga power. Of course, he did not give any methodology, any process for how to do that. But still, according to the Christian scripture, that principle is there. It's repeated, but no one knows how to do it because he was speaking to very simple people. But he gave that idea. Be in the world, but not of the world. But this is Bhagavad-Gita. And this is what Brahma is explaining about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he's saying that those who properly execute bhakti yoga, they're cleansed of material contamination. They can see this yoga power with clear minds. What are they seeing? That although you exist within the transformations of the material qualities, your presence is untouched by these qualities. We hear that again and again. We may think, oh, this is philosophy. But no, this is reality. And gradually, by hearing and hearing, we begin to be affected in the core of our being. How is it that Krishna is within everything, yet everything comes from him, and he is untouched by the material qualities? When you see a rainbow, it happens sometimes. Even in Delhi, you can see a rainbow sometimes? No. Maybe decades ago. Maybe we can ask Yadubar Prabhu. He first came to India what year? 1970. Could you see rainbows in Delhi then? Well, you know what a rainbow is. Have you ever tried to find where the end of the rainbow touches the ground? You're wasting your time. Everyone knows. But when you look at a rainbow, it looks like both ends of the bow rest on the ground. So that example is about how Krishna seems to be in the material world, but he's not touched by it. you can't find any instance of Krishna being affected by the material energy. So this astonishing yoga power is the source of constant meditation by the greatest personalities in the universe. That's why they repeat it again and again. Krishna, what a... Devahuti said that to Lord Kapiladev. You are the Mahayogi. You are the greatest yogi. We would never think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as being a yogi. But yes, genuine yogi has expertise, has special abilities, and Krishna is the reservoir of all expertise and all abilities. Therefore, he's called Yogeshvara. How is it that Krishna is within the universe, and at the same time the universe comes from him? Sometimes the mistake is made that, all right, everything is God. Whatever you look at, that is God. That is an improper understanding, because if everything is God, simply by looking at anything material, you should be perfectly God-realized. What happened, though? If the microphone is God, the chair is God, the floor is God, wherever you look, the matter should inspire you with perfect God realization. Of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains the vision of the Mahabhagavad. But that vision is not seeing everything as God, it's seeing everything as the energy of the Supreme, and recognizing the energy in relation to its possessor immediately brings the vision of Sham Sundar everywhere. Yam Shama Sundar Machincha Guna Surupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamahamajami. The example Srila Prabhupada gave. Simple, but takes a lot of thought. Someone who's dear to you. If you're a father or mother, your child is very dear to you. Just by seeing the shoes of your little child, just by seeing the little shoes, brings to mind immediately, to some degree that's possible in the material world, the presence of the child. You think of the child just by seeing what belongs to the child. On the spiritual platform, that connection made is infinitely stronger. By seeing Krishna's energy properly in the correct consciousness, you are immediately seeing Krishna. Not that you think the energy is God, but you understand to whom the energy belongs, and therefore you're seeing Krishna everywhere. Our philosophy is not armchair or dry theology. It is equipping you with the intelligence and the vision to have a life that is Krishna-filled. This may take some time, but what else is there worth striving for? Nevertheless, even at the very beginning of our spiritual life, Krishna is giving encouragement. Otherwise, how could we go on, even as beginners? And as we make further progress in bhakti, something very interesting happens. This is explained in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The supersoul in your heart for the bhakti yogi is allowing you to see every day as fresh. You could be doing the same devotional service day after day, but because of the supersoul in your heart, you're seeing more and more bhakti possibilities. You're seeing more and more ways how to do better service for Krishna just by doing what is from the material point of view a simple task, from the spiritual point of view, that task has unlimited spiritual wealth, providing you with unlimited spiritual depth. And it's the super soul in your heart that is inspiring you. In this way, bhakti is a mystery for the non-devotee, because to their external vision, it looks like we're just doing the same thing over and over again. In fact, we're chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. We're repeating 3 words over and over again, Hare Krishna and Rama. But we all know that there's no limit to the depths of chanting Hare Krishna. And of course, Rupa Goswami describes this, the unlimited depths, from the viewpoint of someone on the liberated platform. When I chant Hare Krishna, I want thousands of tongues, thousands of ears. He's talking about the perfect stage of chanting. But even as a beginning devotee, you're getting inspiration from the super soul in your heart. How does the super soul in the heart help from the very beginning? He helps you to see devotional service as not ordinary, and he helps you to forget your material desires. This is what Krishna means in Bhagavad-Gita when he says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishto matasmitir jnanam apohanam cha. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So it's the super soul in the heart reciprocating with your attempts to serve that's helping you to remember this is Krishna's energy and helping you to forget your material desires. So we have so much going for us in the bhakti process. But in order to remember that, we have to be sharp. And the sharpness in our perception comes from hearing and chanting and engaging our senses in devotional service. That activity of bhakti keeps us eligible for the super soul, allowing us to see. In today's verse, Brahma is coordinating the demigods. Let's listen. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is going to make a solution. Let us listen. The solution is going to be very interesting. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is going to say, make a truce with the demons. That shows you how interesting life in this world can be. The demigods and the demons are always opposed. Draubhuta saga lokesmin daiva asraevacha. Krishna explains in Bhagavad-Gita there are always these types, these 2 categories. More than dividing the world by class, rich, poor, the lasting division of most important consequence is Asura and Sura. And Krishna explains these 2 classes have always been around from the very beginning. Now Krishna, in his form as an expansion of an expansion of expansion, is going to tell Brahma, demigods and demons, make a truce. And he gives them instructions about Mandara mountain, churn the ocean. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives practical instruction that while you're doing this churning, there are going to be some problems. But don't be discouraged. Not only will there be some problems, but some very alluring, attractive things are going to be rising up from the churning, rising up from the ocean. Don't be victimized by what you see coming out of the ocean. Just see, this is the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the demigods will take that seriously. Of course, their motives are mixed. They're devotees, but as the acharyas explain in their commentary in this section, the demigods want the Supreme Personality Godhead to help them enjoy the material world. In other words, their enjoyment of the material world is not up for question. It's all part of, for them, the bhakti process. But they're suras, they're demigods, because they always approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We're aspiring for serving Krishna beyond material happiness and distress. That sounds like an almost impossible task because we're so afraid of material distress and so attached to material happiness. Our bhakti endeavors are the means by which we cry out to Krishna, take me beyond merely being a sukha dukkha bhakta, a devotee who's so caught up with material distress. Oh, Krishna, please not that. And so attached to material happiness. Oh, thank you, Krishna. That's really nice. You know? Life is good. I myself, I must confess, I'm praying to Krishna that I don't want my devotional service to be bound up with sukha and dukkha. And it can seem difficult because we're so habituated to that. And it's natural, we would say, that we would think, now that I'm in the house of bhakti, Krishna should do something about material distress. I shouldn't see any of it. Or, okay, a little bit, you know, it's the material, a little bit, but not too much. We're shell-shocked from our material existence. We have to be careful. We don't want to wind up being demigods in our next life. Devotees who will have the powers of demigods, but who are attached to material enjoyment while recognizing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have some things to work on. And this bhakti process will certainly purify us. And we can help that process by being conscious of where we need to go. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead gradually made himself known to Brahma, the vision was blocked by the effulgence. The beginning of the chapter describes that the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared before them. His bodily effulgence resembled the simultaneous rising of thousands of suns. So they couldn't see. Lord Brahma, eventually, along with Lord Shiva, could see the personal beauty. First, though, there was the blinding. In Ishopanishad, we read Haranmayena Patrena, the prayer by the sages in the Upanishads, please remove your effulgence so I can see your form. Many persons, when they first read Bhagavad-Gita, and even scholars of religion to this very day, think that the most important part of Bhagavad-Gita is the Universal Form chapter, chapter 11. They think that is the pinnacle. I have to admit, when I first read Bhagavad-Gita, I thought like that. Oh, this chapter 11, this is the ultimate. It seems natural that such an extravaganza of the Vishvarupa is more important than Krishna in his two-handed original form. But then you start to think about Mother Yashoda as we make more advancement in bhakti. She twice saw the Vishvarupa and disregarded it. The last prayer of the Dhammadarasika. Namaste stu Dhamne spara dipti Dhamne Tvaidyodarayata Vishvasya Dhamne. I offer my obeisances to the rope. The Acharyas, especially Sanatana Goswami, describe that the rope around the belly of Damodar is full of Brahmateja, power of Brahmajyoti. First, you offer obeisances to the rope, and then you offer obeisances to the belly that is bound by the rope. And then you offer your obeisances to Krishna's dearest devotee. So the prayer is increasing the levels of importance. The rope, then the belly, then Srimati Radharani. That belly contains all the universe. And this is what Mother Yashoda saw twice. Yet, she disregarded this, and her Vatsalya Prem was not disturbed at all. Whereas Arjuna, in 11th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, he snapped into an awe and reverence mode. Oh, Krishna, forgive me for being so casual with you. Now I see who you really are. And finally, he had to beg Krishna, please change to your four-handed form, and now to your two-handed form. His Sakya Prem was disrupted, but that never happened to Mother Yashoda. Simply, she was astonished looking in the mouth of her child. And that astonishment nourished her parental love of Krishna. The first time, she was feeding Krishna on her lap, and he was almost finished drinking. And then he yawned. And as he yawned, she was looking in his mouth, and she could see the whole universe. Second time, of course, was more prolonged. There had been complaints about Krishna by the older gopis in the village. And they were making these complaints in order to stir the nectarian rasa. So they had no maliciousness. Talking about Krishna is the only thing done. So they complained to Mother Yashoda. He does such mischief. He comes in our houses, breaks in, looks for milk products to steal. When he doesn't find any milk products to steal, he passes stool and urine in our puja areas. Now this, I have to say, is an important point as seen by the Acharyas. What is this about little Krishna passing stool and urine? Actually, Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they all say Supreme Personality Godhead doesn't pass stool and urine, in case you ever wondered. He gives an illusory exhibition of urinating, of urine coming out, stool coming out, but actually no such polluted things exist in the Supreme Personality Godhead. But just to accent his pastimes, he creates a show. So the elder gopis, they were complaining like that. He's doing this in our house, he's doing that. He pulls our braids, he yanks at our saris, he proposes marriage to us. So they're saying this to Mother Yashoda, but she doesn't chastise Krishna. So from Krishna's point of view, this is not wanted. He wants to taste the nectar of being chastised by his mother. So therefore he has to do something else. Because he's always inventing various leelas to increase the love with his devotees. So what's he going to do now? It's not really certain about Krishna's eating dirt. And it's not important whether he actually ate dirt or not. The whole point is the scene that provokes an increase in love. It looks like Mother Yashoda is going to beat him, chastise him, and it looks like Krishna is very fearful. Normally, these things are false. Beating, verbally chastising, fear. But in Krishna Leela, these things all simply nourish the exchange of rasa. Krishna's little cowherd boyfriends, as you know, they reported to Mother Yashoda, Krishna has eaten dirt. They had been deputed by her. She had trained them up very thoroughly. Protect your little friend Krishna. If anything goes wrong, immediately let me know. So they were pre-programmed to do that. They went and told her, Krishna's eating dirt. Did he really eat dirt or not? Many of you may have wondered. It's not certain. We don't want to accuse Krishna falsely. At the same time, Krishna is provoking the whole scene in order to get his mother to chastise him with affection. So we may focus on, did he eat dirt or did he not? That's not the point. The acharyas say that he went to a solitary place and pretended he was eating dirt, or he actually ate dirt. But it's not clear which one. In any case, the cowherd boys and Balaram reported him to Mother Yashoda. And she was disturbed. I've got so many wonderful sweets in my house, and he is eating dirt. So she presented the situation to her child. And of course, Krishna responded, they're lying. All my friends are lying. Mother Yashoda responded, wait a minute. What motive would they have to lie? Even your brother, Balaram, is saying like this. Krishna was insistent. They're all lying. And Mother Yashoda saying, how is it that they would want to conspire against you? Krishna would not relent. No, they're lying, they're lying. So then you know how the situation was to be resolved. Mother Yashoda is going to look in his mouth. Now, what was Krishna thinking? It's hard to say whether he actually ate dirt or not. But that's not the point. But if you think he was eating dirt, here's what Krishna was thinking. By this time, all the dirt in my mouth has gone away. So if she looks in my mouth, she won't see anything. From another point of view, whether he ate dirt or pretended to eat dirt, still that was enough to arouse Yashoda Mai's reaction. And Krishna definitely wanted a reaction from her. So she had grabbed his hand, and just like in Damodar Leela where his whole body shakes, he put on such a show of fear that she decided not to beat him. You see, when you say that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is perfect and complete, that means that in that completeness, his loving exchanges take precedence even over activities like killing, stealing, or lying. Complete means, at its topmost level, that affection is the everything. So even when Krishna is lying, that is all subordinate to his wanting to exchange affection. This is what we mean when we say, God is good. Everything about the Supreme Personality of Godhead is all important, perfect, and complete. Everything ultimately leads to the exchange of rasa. So even though there's talk about lying, there's talk about beating, fear, it's all nourishing praying. And that is the most important thing. So Mother Yashoda thought she would do some simple investigative work. Open your mouth. We'll see. And of course, you know what happened when she opened her mouth. She opened his mouth. She saw the whole universe. What had happened in technical terms is that Krishna's Aishvarya potency, his potency of power and opulence, decided on its own, it's time for us to do some service. So the Aishvarya Shakti decided, it's Vrindavan, but still, I've got to do my thing. I've got to manifest. And this is a perfect moment in service to Krishna. So the opulence, the Aishvarya just manifested as the universal form. When Mother Yashoda looked into Krishna's mouth. How does she handle what she was seeing? She went through a checklist. Am I dreaming? No. I'm wide awake. My eyes are wide open. Maybe this is the demigods playing a trick on me. But that's not possible. I'm just an insignificant woman. Why would the demigods want to waste time playing games with me? Or maybe I'm mentally deranged, but no, I've been in full possession of my faculties. My cognitive powers are functioning properly. Maybe this is the mystic power of my son. And then for a split moment, she thought, maybe my son is Narayan? No. Why not? Because I see how innocent he is, I see he gets hungry, I see how tender his skin is. No. Finally, she prayed. She prayed to Narayan. Please, let me always remember he's my son. I don't understand what's happening, but I'm praying to the Supreme Lord. Please resolve this situation. So while all this is going on, she didn't experience in the least a diminishment of her Vatsalya prema, her love of Krishna, her parental love of Krishna. This is the glory of Mother Yashoda's love. Krishna is thinking, while she's briefly going through all this, even though her Vatsalya prema is not diminishing, still, who's going to cuddle me? Who's going to hold me? So Krishna expanded his Yogamaya potency. And she just forgot whatever she saw, just like you forget about a dream when you wake up in the morning. So she could see how the universe is within Krishna's belly. Yet again, Krishna's within the universe. And this is what Lord Brahma is talking about here. Although Lord Brahma's vision is much different. He's seeing with awe and reverence. Although you are never born, your appearance and disappearance as an incarnation never cease. He's making official prayers, and he'll receive official instructions. Make a truce with the demigods, between the demigods and the demons. Churn the ocean. In this way, life in this universe goes on. And in this way also, in terms of Mother Yashoda and the residents of Vrindavan, life in their special realm goes on. Any questions? Yes? Someone else? Sorry, have a question?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your wonderful class and explanation. As you mentioned during your lecture that we should be in the world but not of world. Can you please give an explanation in our day-to-day life how we can maintain that mode?
Actually, the gift you get from chanting Hare Krishna, as Prabhupada so wonderfully explained in his talk about on chanting, is that by chanting Hare Krishna, you'll be able to see everything as diverse extensions of the Lord's energy. So chanting Hare Krishna changes your vision. The more sincerely you chant, the more you're able to see the energy in relation to the energetic source. The chanting process is very scientific. Your vision actually changes. So in other words, what is so philosophically high, achintya bheda bheda tattva, everything is one with Krishna and different from Krishna, that can be seen by the power of chanting Hare Krishna. So yes, it is a day-to-day reality for the bhakti yogi, how to be in the world but not of the world. And that realization is fueled by chanting Hare Krishna. Therefore, we're trying to chant with better and better quality, which allows us to serve with better and better quality. And then our vision certainly changes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. In that class you said, demigods, they enjoy the appearance by recognizing the Supreme Lord. They enjoy all the appearances in recognition with the Supreme Lord. But if we see, demons also enjoy appearances and they also worship God. In the present world also, if you see, people who are innocent people, they are nothing but demonic people. But
people what? What is that?
In the present world also, there are people who actually are killing innocent people.
Who are what?
Killing others. Like terrorists and all. So they also recognize some God. And they also enjoy the opulence. My question is very simple. My question
Wait. He's very enthusiastic.
Demons also enjoy material opulences and they also recognize God. So is my question is wrong or your God is wrong?
Question is, your last sentence? Question is what?
Your question. My question is that demigods, they enjoy all the material opulences.
Demigods enjoy all the material opulences.
Yes, yes.
In recognition with the Supreme Lord.
Yes, I've got that, yes.
Demons, they also enjoy material opulences. And they also... Demons.
Yes, I got that, Okay, we're doing good.
They also enjoy material opulences. And they also recognize God. May not be Lord Narayan, but they also recognize some God. So how do we...
But we don't accept so-called God realization without recognizing that the material world is the energy of God and should be used according to His instruction. So just, I believe in God, but then we do whatever we like. We don't accept that as God realization. And in fact, that kind of notion of religion has caused so many problems in the world. I am following this religion, you are following that religion, but no one is recognizing proprietorship in that you take instruction from the proprietor how to use what belongs to the proprietor. So there's a big difference between seeing yourself as believing in God and accepting the energies as belonging to the Supreme, and therefore we must find out how to use those energies. It's a big difference. Otherwise, yes, someone could come to your house. I believe in you, and then they just walk through your house and do whatever they like. But I believe in you. How great you are, how good you are, and they just trash your house. In fact, many people think God gave us these bodies to enjoy. No, He's done His part. He's given us the bodies. Now we do our part. We enjoy whatever way we like, this way, that way. And then there are those who are out and out atheistic. One very famous, how would you describe media personality in the Western world. He was famous in so many countries for traveling around the world and experiencing exotic foods and exotic places and exotic people, and he would make TV shows. He's very famous. His Maha Mantra was this: your body is not a temple. It is an amusement park. Enjoy the ride. So, all right, we laugh, but how much has that kind of thinking affected us? We may not say it directly like that, but living in Kali Yuga, you become affected by these notions. The poor man, the celebrity, committed suicide. And so many other media personalities were totally perplexed. Many of them said, if there was someone in this world I wanted to be, it was him. He was the one person I envied. Just having a good time, traveling the world, eating exotic food, meeting exotic people, and then making a TV show about it. Oh, life doesn't get any better than that. So they were totally bewildered. Why did he commit suicide? Especially, he's the one expounding that doctrine. Your body is not a temple. It's an amusement park. Enjoy the ride. Then he commits suicide. Better than that are those who say, I believe in God. But what is the use of this belief in God unless you recognize the material world as the energy of the Supreme, and you have an obligation to use it according to the instructions of the Supreme? Let me see if anyone else has a question. Yeah. No. He asked what was the reason why he obviously he was not happy. He was very depressed. Tragedy. Mm-hmm. Yet so many people are affected by what he said. Maybe not so much in India, but a few years from now, even in India, you'll probably hear, your body is not a temple, it's an amusement park. Maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now. It'll be the latest concoction imported from the West. Oh, this is very advanced. Mother Yashoda's parental love is never disturbed. In that case, the other case, and in all cases, her parental love is never disturbed. Whereas, here is one proof that the acharyas offer. Why it is a fact that even though Mother Yashoda is seeing this opulent display, the Aishvarya, her parental love is never disturbed. The proof is that she doesn't offer any prayers to Krishna like Devaki does. In the prison cell of Kamsa, Devaki is offering prayers. Yashoda Mai never does that. She may pray, Yashoda Mai may pray to Narayan, please protect my little Krishna. But she never offers official prayers to Krishna. Whereas Devaki does that. So the acharyas say that is one proof. All right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.